So this is the recap for live stream 170. As we can see, we've had a positive day. The first part of the day, we actually had a short setup on RTY. RTY had a greater relative weakness of all the instruments today. We took the short, price came back immediately against us. We didn't like that fact. Thought about trailing my stop down to this previous high. I think I eventually settled on these highs. The original stop was all the way up here at 50.9. Price came down, saw prices head close below this area here. Thought it would be the start of the market heading downwards, but the market turned around, started to pull back a bit, so exited for a minus 6750 loss. So that was a little bit disappointed. I was a little bit disappointed there. I thought prices would have turned around, especially as I had at the time a long NQ position. I thought NQ and ES would pull us to the upside. And so I exited. Not long after, of course, we've seen prices sell off, closed bearish, so decided to get back in. Was going short, was going to target 39.4, and the purpose of that was to recover the losses over here. Price came down pretty close towards the level, started to retrace a little bit, so took the trade off, picked up 5. I then saw prices, I thought, because I was a bit concerned about this area possibly being an area we could see buyers step in. Then saw this very large candle relative to what we're seeing here. I decided to go short to target the original take profit, which was down at 37.1 when I first entered the trade. So went long, price came down, picked up about, I think it's 30 contracts, and then eventually picked up the remaining 20. So it's taken out there. Of course, we've seen price just go down about 5 ticks more before we're having a pretty sharp retracement here to the upside on RTY. So on the NQ trade, that chart is frozen. Let's have a look at the NQ trade. So the NQ trade, so we went long. It was a classic setup. I was a bit concerned at first as prices were retracing to the downside. Eventually prices went to the upside, got to our target. Our target was up at about 1150 or so. We had a key level marked out at 1450. That was our concern, similar to what we had yesterday. So we were able to take profit before we got there. And as prices spiked to the upside on this volume spike here, we were taken out. On ES, a similar volume spike. So they're both trading in tandem with one another. We didn't have any trades on ES. More recently, we had a trade on this candle here to go long. We decided not to take it because we've seen prices reject off this 200 off that volume spike. Retested above, couldn't hold above, closed below. Very sizable candle. Also, we had NQ into that 1450 and reject. So that's one of the reasons why I haven't taken the possible long on ES. We mentioned the RTY trades. So we picked up 5, and the other one we picked up 1750 there. So with commissions, we're about break even. So you can see the P&L per instrument on the middle right hand side of the screen. YM, we didn't like the look of it. It looked far too choppy, and it remained so. Gold, we actually took a short. Took a short on gold. I'll be honest, at the time I didn't notice how close the VWAP was. After prices retraced to the upside here, I finally realized how much that prices had come into the VWAP. So managed to adjust my stop to break even. I was filled. I think I had 30 contracts remaining. No, 25, I think, contracts remaining. And was a little bit concerned at the time. Held the position. Eventually, prices came down and took me out for break even. Of course, if I had held the position all the way to stop, the stop was all the way up at 55.4. Would have been stopped out on this candle for a fairly significant loss. But fortunately, we were taken out for about break even, as we can see here on the right hand side of the screen. Those were the trades that we were taking today. Of course, on the RTY, in hindsight, could have said, well, if you'd have held the position all the way down to target, leaving the stop where it was, you would have picked up a further 17,250. By the same time, if I would have done that on gold, I would have made a fairly significant loss. So definitely have to pay attention more. and definitely put more emphasis on these potential dynamic levels of support and resistance like the VWAP and the 200 period. So I'm going to get the trade performance up here before wrapping up this recording. So we're just going to generate, and there's our equity curve. So first we drew down -7. What was that on? Oh, that was the RTY trade. So on the RTY we drew down. After that, as we can see, pretty smooth equity curve is the type of thing we would like to see. Started trading around 9:46 Eastern Standard Time. As you can see, our last entry time. Our last entry was around the 10:19 Eastern Standard Time. Go to the summary page. We can see the net was 47, total gains was 54,497, gross loss there. Commissions, fairly small commissions, very healthy profit factor, high accuracy. Average win to average loss were pretty close to one another. Largest win to largest loss, pretty good there, 4 times. Around about, that's a bit less than 4 times, isn't it? Yeah, it's a little bit less. Our winners are almost 4 times the size of our largest losing trade. It's definitely sort of statistics we like to see, but the most important thing for me, of course, is the smooth equity curve. And with that said, thanks for watching. Good luck trading. Have a great day.